Greetings, Goldilocks and Burritos. This is Matt Harpatrick. Remember in my Puss in Boots review that I got overexcited to see the sequel, I scream inside my hat and send my cheers to another dimension? Yeah! Yeah! Well, I saw it last December, and guess what? Yeah! Yeah! So out of all the DreamWorks sequels, Puss in Boots is the successor I wanted to see the most. When I first saw his first film, I had a good time with his adventure and all the characters he came across without Shrek's help. A sequel would make sense since there are still tons of fairy tales and nursery rhymes that can easily be adapted into a spoof in the Shrek universe. In fact, it was originally going to be called Puss in Boots: 9 Lives and the 40 Thieves, but they switched directors up to Joel Crawford to craft the Puss in Boots sequel they desire. Welcome to another episode of the One Reviews. Let's read the next chapter of the fearless hero. This is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. In this follow-up, Puss in Boots, once again played by Antonio Banderas, is down to his last cat life and is being asked to retire. However, he discovered there is a map to a wishing star, and if he finds it, he can use it to wish all of his 8 lives back. But he would need help from Key Sawpaws, again played by Salma Hayek, and the therapy dog played by Harvey Golan, to overcome all the obstacles and enemies that stand in their way. To the film's credit, the sequel does stay true to the first movie as an action-packed adventure, but what I was really surprised about The Last Wish is how edgy it turned out to be. However, it doesn't go too far, and it can't help the character's journey. With each obstacle the heroes have to travel, they can not only be life-threatening and briefly explain the legends of the wishing star, but some of them actually reflect the characters on what could they possibly want from the star, especially Puss himself. But the best part about the story is that it has a good message that wishes can come true. You just happen to make it happen on your own or with others, even without the use of anything magical. Now, if you only came back to the Puss in Boots movie for some humor like in any Shrek project, don't worry, there are a bunch of laughs that can give everyone a good time. There are times it will have some cartoony slapstick, over-the-top expressions, moments that say, hey, they're from the Shrek movies, and contain a variety of fairy tale and nursery rhyme spoof. The latter is what helped make the movie a lot of fun, with new interpretation of classic fantasy characters and even some new ideas that we never seen before from the other movies. This is exactly what you want to see in a fairy tale satire sequel. They add new things to make fun of other famous stories, but add their own twists to them. There are even some moments where they made references to Disney and their other classic movies, especially making the wishing star as a plot goal because it makes all the characters in the movie memorable and lovable. Let's start off with the legendary that possibly will never die, Puss in Boots. His new arc is that he's worried that if he loses his life and wastes it, he'll die for good and may never become a hero that everyone remembers. As the movie progresses, he would get help from his friends to face his true fears and learn that he can still go on adventures as he pleased with his 9th life. But he's not the only character who wants the wishing star to achieve his goal. Kitty returns to be his partner, but she is struggling to trust others, which explains what happened between them and does expand their relationship and what she really wants. As for Perrito, he's the optimistic dog that Puss meets at the cat shelter who wants to become a therapy dog and have friends. He's the only one that doesn't really have a wish he desired because it's already been fulfilled when he teams up with Puss and Kitty. He can be funny once in a while, but one issue with him is that he tries too hard to be a spin-off version of Donkey as comic relief.
We can eat and talk at the same time.
No hablo inglés.
And you have the villains, and there are a bunch of them who share their own wishes which make them three-dimensional. You got Jack Horner, who has a bunch of magical weapons from every fairy tale and nursery rhyme that wants to be more powerful than ever. The 3 bears, who look very different since the last time I saw them, led by Goldilocks, are a criminal family that wants a wish to be just right for them as a family. And then you have the big bad wolf. And before you get any ideas, no, he's not a reboot version of the Red Riding Hood wolf from the Shrek franchise. He is a different wolf that wants to kill Puss once and for all. Everything about him is scary and dangerous. He always follows Puss in Boots around, whistling to his sinister song so he can claim his life, which frightens the fearless cat severely. The more he's on screen, the more he reveals why he wants the cat. Do you know what the best part about these villains? None of them are considered Twitch villains. Unless you count the wolf, these antagonists do not pretend to be nice or anything to hide their true nature. They're basically evil villains showing off their cool moves and powers. That's the reason why some villains like the Fairy Godmother, Lord Farquaad, and even Rumpelstiltskin are memorable Shrek villains. But the best part about the sequel is that they made the animation beyond better than the first Puss in Boots movie. One thing's for sure, the animation is not the same as it was for the first Puss in Boots or any other Shrek movies. The new designs were inspired by Sony Pictures Animation's famous film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse to make the film look like storybook illustration compared to Spider-Verse on how they made the motion picture feel like an actual comic book movie. Even before the sequel, they'd done this style before with their other 2022 movie, The Bad Guys. With this art design, the animation is incredibly amazing and it does feel like an action-packed fairy tale flick. All the action scenes are awesome to watch all the way through. There are times they do cut down the frame rate like Spider-Verse, where they go into details on how Puss and the other characters dodge the attacks, hit something, or deliver the final blow. Whether it be the climatic showdown, or when he faces the giant at the beginning.
Hey, you wanna see something cool?
The new art design also makes the characters and the setting look more vibrant. They give new updated textures on the animal fur for Puss, Kitty, Burrito, Wolf, and the three bears, while some human characters like Goldilocks, Jack Horner, and others have a cartoonish look instead of looking like a realistic human in order to match their personality, indicating that it is a fairy tale spoof movie. The background making the most of it by making the dark forest a colorful place where it alters its own appearance either peaceful or deadly depending on who wields the wishing star map. But the biggest addition that help the action scenes and scenes look engaging are the special effects. It contains a bunch of 2D animation on fire, the giant, and one of those anime zooms, great use of lighting like on the wishing star up close when the magic map change environments, and plenty of scenarios when Jack pulls a magic weapon based off a popular story. Overall, the animation fits perfectly in the Shrek universe as a fairy tale story, and it's even better than the original style from the other movies. It shows how much DreamWorks has greatly evolved one of their popular franchise. So when I first saw this movie on the big screen, I didn't expect it to be this awesome. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is not only the best animated sequel to its own predecessor, but the best movie in the Shrek series since Shrek 2. The story is heart-pounding and engaging, the animation is spectacular, and the characters both old and new are memorable. This is a must-watch for everyone. This is pretty much everything what an animated sequel should be. After so many years, it felt like the legendary Puss in Boots had been waiting for a long time to have another adventure. And I'm more than happy that this fearless hero has finally got his wish. I hereby give Puss in Boots 2 an A, and of course, it is rewarded with the Diploma of Destiny. If there is one thing we can learn from this particular sequel, it does bring us hope about the upcoming Shrek 5 we've been hearing so much about. Like most people, I wasn't on board in bringing back the ogre for another whirlwind adventure because of his sequels and the fairy tale spoof trend is pretty much dead. But after seeing The Last Wish and what's been happening after the events from the main series, I'm now more open to see what the next chapter is in the Shrek franchise. And if Shrek 5 does succeed both critically and financially, then maybe the ogre and all of his friends will find a new and better happily ever after. I'm Mad Hatter Patrick. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to have a fiesta at Del Mar's mansion. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.